Welcome back to another episode of the Phillips Fam Baby Journey for all my loyal subscribers. For those that are brand new and want to join the crew, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And while you're at it, I need everybody to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Today, we are going to be talking about my birth plan because let me show y'all this belly. Ooh, yeah. I am 22 weeks pregnant and I'm due in July, and I gotta start thinking about how I want to have this baby. This is baby number 2. With my first pregnancy with my daughter, I had a birth plan. And let me tell you, baby, did nothing go as planned. I was supposed to have a vaginal delivery with an epidural, with a mirror down there so I can see myself pushing, with, low lighting in the room, certain songs playing from a playlist. Her placenta was supposed to be saved. I wanted to keep her umbilical cord attached so she can get all the cord blood, for as long as it can stay on there. Did any of that happen? No, none of that happened because I ended up going into the hospital to be induced at 39 weeks. My husband had started a brand new job and, he was scheduled to start a brand new job the week prior. And I was afraid that I would go into labor while he was at work, or worse yet, he wouldn't be able to, have any time off to help me take care of this baby. And I would just be here by myself trying to figure it out because I didn't have anybody, coming. Like, I live in Texas. My mom lives in Ohio. My dad lives in Georgia. My best friend is in Ohio as well. So it's like, who was going to help me? So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and get induced so that at least I have a week with him being home, and hopefully I can figure everything out before that baby comes. They induced me, and I went on a Sunday night. They start me on like some medicine that's supposed to help, get me to dilate. Didn't work. I ended up having to have a C-section on Wednesday night. So after Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's like, you know what, go ahead and just cut this baby out of me so I can get up out of here. And then we went home on Saturday. So I was almost in the hospital for a whole week. I also suffered from postpartum depression because of that C-section. So when I would watch movies with women giving birth and they were doing it vaginally, so I would be watching them push and, labor, and then, be rewarded by this baby being placed on their chest. Like, I would cry every time. Like, I was robbed. I was robbed of this experience. And I felt like I wasn't a real mother. Like, I already had to go through IVF to have this baby. Like, so I already felt like I was broken as a woman, like my body doesn't work how it's supposed to work. And then I can't even have a baby the regular way. So it was a real sensitive subject for me. So now we're here with baby number 2. And it's like, okay, am I going to do another C-section, or am I going to try to go for a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after C-section? So I was leaning more towards doing the VBAC. And let me give you my pros and cons for each one. All right. So with the VBAC, there is, some risk associated with it if you've already had a C-section, because where you cut at could possibly rupture. So the process has to be closely monitored to make sure that, it's going to be safe for baby and mama. I belong to a couple mom groups, and so I posted because since I had that C-section, I have no idea what a contraction feels like. I literally had a pain-free birth. So my C-section experience wasn't bad at all. Like, I had the C-section at like 10 o'clock at night. At 6 a.m. in the morning, I was up walking around. Okay? They had me pumped enough full of drugs like that I didn't feel anything. Like, I still had an epidural that night before, so obviously I didn't feel anything that cut me open. So no contractions, no labor pains. It was totally pain-free. And so even though, like, I was super sad about it, I'm thinking now, like, was it a blessing in disguise? Because when I asked those moms in my mom group, like, okay, literally, if 100 people responded to the poll, and I asked, did you tear when you delivered vaginally? And 75 of them said yes. And so I'm like, whoo, child. I don't know if I'm ready for that. And you like, girl, you had your whole stomach cut open so they can put a baby out, and that don't scare you, but tearing down there scare you. It does, because like I said, I had a pain-free delivery, so I don't know how bad that's gonna hurt, especially afterwards. Like, I don't want to be walking around here or trying to walk around here and my thing hurting. I'm peeing and it's burning every time because I got stitches down there. And then and I know this is not true, but it's some ignorant guys out there to say stuff like, oh, like, it don't feel the same after they didn't had a baby down there. So I'm like, my husband claims and swears up and down like, that any woman he had sex with that had kids, he didn't feel no different. So, I really believe that's not the case. But I'm like, well, what if it is? What if he just saying that to be polite? What if it do change me down there? What if what if I got a 4th-degree tear? Child, I don't know. So that the tearing part scares me, but also the contraction part, scares me, because I don't know how bad that will actually feel. Like, I had a couple procedures done when I was going through IVF that made me have some very strong cramping that I was like, oh, this gotta be how a contraction feel. So I think I may possibly have an inkling of how it may feel, but that wasn't a real contraction, so I won't know until it happened. So that scares me, as well as the pushing part. So I suffer from constipation. And so I already be on the toilet like, whoo, child, I can't push out boo-boo. And I'm supposed to push out a whole baby. It concerns me. I'm like, I've never had hemorrhoids. I want hemorrhoids. I'm like, what if I have to push so hard that like I end up with hemorrhoids or something? I don't know. So those are my main concerns and fears about doing this VBAC. And so there are some perks, believe it or not, for me having a C-section. Because of the C-section, I get to schedule it. So initially, I had a C-section because, it was more convenient for me to be able to spend time with my baby and my husband together before he had to start his job. So the same thing will work this time. I have a daughter. I will not have anybody here to assist with watching her. So if I do a C-section, the plan would be, okay, take her to daycare as normal. 6:30 in the morning, we can drop her off. That's the earliest. Go check in at the doctor's office, have my C-section, and daddy can be there with me and the baby, and then pick up my daughter Legacy by 6:30 that evening, and he can stay home with her, and I'll be in the hospital with the baby. Nobody need to watch my baby. I ain't got to worry about if my water just naturally breaks on its own. Like, oh my gosh, who's going to watch my daughter? Because obviously, my 1-year-old daughter, she'll probably be 2 at the time, cannot go to the hospital with me while I'm giving birth. So I'm going to have to call up a friend, call up a sister who has 3 kids of her own and lives 20 minutes north of here to drop her off. I'm in labor. Who got time for that? So it seems like it'd be a big hassle to have to organize the last minute, delivery of a child. Granted, it's not gonna be last minute. It's gonna happen, but you just don't know when it's gonna happen. What if it's in the middle of the night? Like, so then it's like I gotta, get the dog packed up, the baby packed up. The dog can't even go nowhere because PetSmart gonna be closed. So I can be more organized if I schedule the C-section and have all my ducks in a row and have everybody where they need to be. And then also, let me show you. So I showed y'all the stomach, but let me show you my C-section scar, okay? Because I hate it. You see that? Now, I know there are women out here who are proud of their scars and stretch marks, and you should be, okay? I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but I'm just saying, me personally, I don't like my scar. Like, I have no other scars on my body, and I wish I didn't have that C-section scar. My doctor has informed me that if I do elect to do another C-section, that essentially she can cut off the old scar, and when she, sutures me back up with the glue, make sure that she injects a lot of steroids in the scar, and that will keep me from keloiding, because that's what's going on. And so you think like, oh, you're just so vain, but this keloid is itchy as I don't know what, okay? It is super itchy, and it's hard to do hair removal down there when you got this big lump of scar tissue in the way. So, that's another point for doing the C-section. I get the scar removed. I get to schedule it, so I know ain't gonna be no surprises unless the baby decide to come before the scheduled C-section. So I'm really like, I don't know. Vaginal delivery here, C-section delivery here. I need y'all help. I need y'all help, sis. I think I'm leaning more towards, to be honest, even though I really wanted the experience of pushing out my son, but that C-section looking appealing, y'all. I'm like, it was pain free. I had no complications. I was up walking around. I mean, I think I healed pretty quickly, you know, and I can get my scar that I currently have fixed. Like, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. But at the same time, it's kind of like I want the experience to push him out. So, I mean, even though it's supposed to be talking about my birth plan, I'm still a little conflicted, but I think we are going to go with the vaginal delivery. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put my big girl panties on, and we're gonna take what's thrown at me so that I can have the experience of both. So that I can hopefully feel like, you know, I'm capable of doing it. Because I am woman, hear me roar, okay? I know that us women can do it, all right? And I know I got it in me to push out this baby. So I just need y'all to, you know, pump me up. You know, give me words of encouragement. Tell me about your experience if you had a VBAC below, because I'm definitely interested, because obviously I'm clueless on, you know, how that whole process is going to go for me. But I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, still give it a thumbs up, because I'm bearing my soul out here. And until next week, remember, your miracle is on the way. I'm out.